What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Let's get into it. And this story takes us to CYA. SRCC to be precise. SRCC, as I told you all before, and as many of you already know, is the reception for CYA. Just like Delano and Wasco for prison, it's the reception / orientation. They house you there for 90 days or so until you go to the prison yard that you're going to. CYA has the same sort of reception. SRCC, SRC, and NRC. And I was at SRC. Now, I was there with Crazy O from Harlem 30's. We first met, I was in the line, and he already knew who I was. He told me where I was from, said my name and everything. I said, yeah, I think perhaps he remembered me from the halls, from juvenile hall, or he said he had just heard of my name. I don't know, because I didn't remember him from the halls. But Crazy O and I became pretty close. Crazy O is like, he's not necessarily Hispanic. I guess he's like mixed or something, but he's mixed with something. Real long hair, light skin, but it's like Puerto Rican or some shit. Something along those lines. And in fact, when I was in the county jail, I had heard that Crazy O had passed away. That one of his homies, one of his own homies from Harlem, had stabbed him up or something. And then I ended up seeing him in the visiting area in the county jail. And I said, man, Crazy O, man, whoop. And before I can even finish, he said, nah, that was my brother. He already knew what I was about to say. Like, man, I heard, man, that they parked you. Because that shit had hurt my heart. Because that's my boy. He was my boy in YA, right there in SRCC. He was my partner. We was on the same unit together. And then I went to a different unit across. I forget which one it was. This was in 1990. But I do recall that G. Wayne, I believe his name was G. Wayne from Harlem. Some type of Wayne, but I believe it was G. Wayne. I was thinking about it all this morning. I believe it was G. Wayne, tall, skinny, with long hair. He had braids at the time, even though we were all young. And G. Wayne was already on the unit when I got there, and by all accounts, he was turned up. He was a young dude, but somehow everyone sort of looked up to him. He seemed a little older. He oftentimes carried himself like he was older, although when it came to his opposition, he was always ready to squabble. In came someone from 20 Bloods. I don't recall his name, and G. Wayne hit him up immediately. Now again, oftentimes, G. Wayne was there and would intervene and keep the peace between other people, other factions. But when it came to his own gang banging and his own hood, he really gave no passes. But the dude from 20's that came in, it was clear to myself and everyone else there, well, he was not a coward. Because as soon as he came through, G. Wayne hit him up. And said, where you from? He told him where he was from. G. Wayne said, man, I'm from Harlem. All right, bro. He said, man, there's 20 Bloods. He was a young dude, young light-skinned dude with short hair. And G. Wayne said, okay, fine. We gonna handle that. He's like, all right, bet. We gonna handle that then. A couple days went by. But we come to find out it was really at the behest of the Bloods that what happened next. And we were all sitting there in the day room because we would go and convene there in the day room to eat. I told you we had a ride over some chicken right there in the day room with the Southsiders. We'd go in there to eat. Sometimes the staff would play movies, etc. And we would all try to get up out of ourselves for a little while and go and chill in the day room. And we sitting right there in the day room, whatever the occasion is, whether we're eating or watching a movie, we're sitting there on the chairs. and in comes 20 Bloods. This is a few days after they had a spat, if you will, a conflict in which G. Wayne had told them they had to get out, that they was going to handle that. And 20 Bloods, again, he did not hesitate to take on that fight. He seemed to be looking forward to it. Again, he was not a coward. He went in there and sat out in the day room. Now, we was already in there. And G. Wayne had already had his hand in his right pocket and was fumbling around in there. This is before 20 Bloods even came in. But then when he came in, he kept his hand in his right pocket. I knew something was up. 20 Bloods came and sat on the same row as G. Wayne. And really, he got his chair and put his hands down on his chair and went as if he was about to sit down. But instead of sitting down, he picked up the chair and came at G. Wayne and tried to swing it at his dome area. G. Wayne, out of his peripheral, he saw it. He caught a shadow. And he saw the chair coming and said, man, what the? And he got out of the way, and the chair barely skinned him. It hit him, though. It hit him in the head, but not dead on. G. Wayne, still having his wits about him because the impact was low, was able to come out of his pocket with whatever he had inside of his sock. It was not soap. I know that for a fact. It was too small. He had something real small in his hand wrapped up in his sock. But it was heavy. It was hard because he started swinging it on dude from 20's. But the dude from 20's, he wasn't running. He was fighting back, even though he picked up the chair and was blocking it with the chair at first. The police came running in, but really got out of the way once they saw that G. Wayne had something apparently carrying a lot of weight inside of this sock and that the blood had a chair. The police decided to just get out of the way for a while and let them go at it, even though they both essentially had weapons. And G. Wayne is swinging the thing at him. I believe his name was G. Wayne, something Wayne, from Harlem, was swinging whatever was inside of this sock at the dude from 20's. He hit him upside the head a couple of times. He had a couple big ooh-wees. Right here on his forehead, a couple big knots. But he was able to block some of the thrust with the chair. And then he eventually dropped the chair and started swinging. Now, again, G. Wayne is a small dude. He was kind of tall, but he was skinny, real skinny. So I'm assuming he didn't have much power behind his punch. Not as much as 20's did, because even though his head was beginning to swell and leak, he managed some strength. He mustered up some strength and managed to swing back at G. Wayne and hit him with a couple of good ones, which backed G. Wayne off with this sock. At this time, the police rushed in and rushed them both to the ground, essentially. And it was over. No one else got involved because oftentimes it was some more Crips in the day room and some more Bloods. And most of the time, when something like this transpires behind the walls, where someone from your hood, from your faction section is there, they essentially must get involved. Even if you're winning, they're going to get involved. But this is YA, and this is reception of YA. Most of the people here have never been to YA. They have yet to go to, YTS, a mainline, pass, or whatever. This is just the reception. It's like going to the county jail, but you've never been to prison. You're on your way to prison, but you haven't been there yet. A lot of these dudes are on their way to YA. I mean, we're in YA, but we're not on the main line of YA just yet. And most people, including myself, had never been to YA, so we don't know any rules. I mean, common sense oftentimes dictates that if your partner is getting into it, you automatically jump in. But we don't understand the gist of the politics at the tender age of 15 and 16 and 17 years old, which most of us were and SR and NRCC. They removed him out of the building, and I ended up seeing G Wayne and YTS, in fact, and I never saw 20's again. But 20's handled his business. He was not scared. He didn't even come in looking for any trouble. He just came in. He got hit up and he banged his hood back, but he was ready for the trouble. And G Wayne, he was just strong and somewhat mannish, and really, I mean, he was putting in work for his hood. He was putting in work for the Harlems at that time. So I guess he just felt like, whoever came in from the opposition, he had to take care of it. That's what he did. That's why, man, that's the jailhouse for you. That's the incarceration. That's why a place to stay the hell out of. I'll be back. And in the meantime, stay free, people.